Yes, folks, hello, welcome once again to MoDXtra Games and Collectibles. I'm Chris, this is my channel. Absolute pleasure to have you with me here today. And as 2025 comes to a close, I was sat here at my desk in my man cave thinking about videos to do at the end of the year, and I was thinking what would be a particularly innovative, groundbreaking, interesting, unique and novel type of video to make to close out the year. And so I thought I would do a G.I. Joe Classified Series top 5 figures of 2025 and get some of my community to contribute their thoughts about what their top figures of G.I. Joe Classified Series in 2025 were. I know, right? Nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it. It's an absolute... I'm a trailblazer when it comes to YouTube content. So let's get into it and let's get started with my top 5, and then I'll share with you the community contributions towards the end of the video. And let's start with number 5. Number 5. Number 5, folks, is the Desert Scorpion. I freaking love this set. I think it's really interesting. I think it's quite unique. Got a unique feel in the line. It caught my attention when we saw the digital render. It further caught my attention when we got the in-hand reveal. And then once I got it and started playing with it, I just had loads and loads of fun. And the two of them, they make up the set, the Desert Scorpion and the Scorpion 10, whatever it's called. Just lived as my desk figures for a long time and are still out in permanent residence in my sort of regular man-child play selection. The Desert Scorpion figure itself, it just really captured my imagination. I love that sort of Mad Maxy desert scene, post-apocalyptic-y vibe that they managed to give it with the soft goods cape and the style and design of the face mask and the padding and all that good stuff. Obviously with the giant scorpion wrangling stick as well, and the over-the-shoulder sort of laser gun just gives it lots of character, lots of personality. Just really, really enjoyed it. And then accessory-wise, aside from the fact that the weaponry use was a little bit of a disappointment, the backpack with the mounted gun, the faceplate swap that's on there, just really, really great. Loads of knives and daggers and stuff as well, and the hand claws, just allowing you to open up a world of possibility when it comes to the way you want to display the figure, the way you might want to photograph the figure, the diodes you might want to put together. And so, yeah, I really, really like the Desert Scorpion, and I really enjoyed this figure this year. And then, of course, the Scorp 10N, just brilliant. I mean, just a proper nasty piece of work, isn't it? Like, real nasty piece of work, and very, very enjoyable to play with indeed. So there you go. There's number 5, the Desert Scorpion set. Number 4. Right then, folks, coming in at number 4, we have Monkey Wrench. Possibly a controversial placement on the list. I know the Monkey Wrench has been popular with many, many others across the year. And there's just a couple of others that captured my imagination more. But that's not to say I don't think he's a banging figure. And out of all the ones I picked up this year, he still made top 5. Lots of lovely detail to give this just loads of character and depth. Like the eyebrow piercing and the ear piercing, the stuff you can do, like swapping around with the glasses and the face mask and that. Wide weapon selection with his weird wrench axe things, his trident launcher. I really love the 6-shooter. I like when I see the 6-shooters, and that might not be the last time I talk about a 6-shooter on this video today. Yeah, tons of detail. I love it when the figures are layered up with paint applications and little things like the zippers on his leather vest there, on his sleeveless leather coat, the tattoos, just all. I mean, the dreadnoughts are obviously very, very popular with Lenny and the rest of the G.I. Joe team. They really put their heart and soul into them. And Monkey Wrench kind of continues what has been a trend of really great sculpts in terms of face sculpts, the wild, punky, heavy metal designs of the clothing that they wear. I mean, just like with the little rips on the jeans and stuff. And yeah, I don't know, just really captured my imagination. Very, very enjoyable figure. One that I, again, had as a desk figure for a long, long time and is still, as you can see, residing in my kind of close to the desk man-child play figures from the year. And loving that, you know, the Dreadnought roster is building out even further. Number 3. Going in then at number 3, we have Pythona, folks, the convention exclusive from this year's convention season. Not only is the nostalgia factor really, really heavy with me. The G.I. Joe, the movie, has a very fond place in my heart. I've talked about this many times on the channel. So the Pythona nostalgia factor was strong for me. But they would have been spoiled if they'd have fucked the figure up, and they haven't. They've just knocked it out of the park. She's really, really excellent and very, very enjoyable. The two head sculpts are wonderful. The soft cape's good. It's got lovely texture and just, again, depth to bring more character to it. The whole jumpsuit with the kind of techno-organic scaly stuff going on, it just really gives it a nice kind of three-dimensional feel. All the accessories, you know, all the kind of animal creature weapons stuff that are from that scene that we all know and love from G.I. Joe. The movie, when she raids the Cobra base, just present and correct. I mean, it's not without its flaws. I found some of the accessories a bit difficult to integrate into things like poses and displays that I want to take photos of with the character. They're not very practical, but they still like tap into that warm nostalgic memory I have of watching that film and watching that scene and just being like, what the, you know, just so, for a child of that age, like some crazy jumpsuited, fanged lady throwing these sort of face hugger style creatures onto Crimson Guard's faces, and that scream, that Wilhelm scream noise that they make in the film just lives in my memory so firmly. Like I can shut my eyes and picture that whole thing from the beginning, like cutting her way into the fence and making her way up to the Cobra base. It all just vivid, you know, just imprinted on me at when I was 7 or 8 years old. I don't know if I should have been watching it when I was 7 or 8. It certainly left an impression. But the figure is great. You know, this female buck as well, really, really awesome. Just great articulation. Very, very pleased with the Pythona. Just really knocked it out of the park and did the nostalgia that I wanted from a Pythona release. Did it proud. Number 2. Into the top 2 now then, folks, and have you got a guess? Have you got a guess who the 2 at the top spot might be? I think you probably can accurately guess. But the first actual Joe on the list, it's been very villain-heavy so far, but coming in at number 2, we've got Budo. God damn it, this figure is so much fun. I mean, really fun. This whole kind of kit-bashy modular kind of set up with the helmets and the head swaps and the obviously the samurai uniform and all the various kind of samurai related embellishments that you can do just means that everybody's Budo has the potential to just be ever so slightly different. I mean, not wildly different, but different enough that you can put your own little stamp on it. So yeah, really, really enjoyed the figure. Again, you know, judging it by the standards that I judge it by as to what should the best figure of the year be. Often it is which ones hang around as my desk figures that I play with a lot and I photograph a lot. And Budo I have played with a lot. And Budo I have photographed a lot. Very, very enjoyable figure. No two ways about it. Again, like the others, he's not without its flaws. I don't know if you can see there, the paint's starting to chip a lot on his swords. Probably mostly because I've been using them and playing with them a great deal, but not without its flaws. And some of the little bits like the strap of the sword sheath doesn't quite fit properly. But overall, extremely enjoyable figure. And this is the kind of the third. I've mentioned them in my recent vid about the Brazil releases. This is the third figure now with this sort of modular design, like tripwire and heavy duty, where you're sort of building stuff and taking things on and off the figure to suit what you want to do in terms of your display, what you want to do in terms of the photograph you're trying to take. That I'm really into, really into. I've been enjoying it a great deal. It's one of the things about Fresh Monkey Fiction, as a side note, that I've been getting a great deal of enjoyment about. So if anyone from Hasbro's watching, I'm into it. Hint, hint, Deep Six. Yeah, but I think, I don't have to bang on about it. I think there's going to be a lot of you watching this video out there who agree with me on Budo. Just a really, really tremendous looking figure, really tremendous accessory selection, great sculpt detail, great paint applications, great accessory selection, just ticking all the boxes. Number 1. Which, of course, brings us to number 1, the top spot, my absolute fave of the year. I'm sure you probably guessed by this point in the video now, but that's right, folks, it's Retro Cover Girl. No, I'm kidding. It's Crystal Ball, of course it is. Now, in the first instance, I want to point out that I was one of those balmy weirdos who liked Crystal Ball as a character, full stop. You know, I wasn't. I know that this guy has landed well because folks have been like, "Oh my god, what? They've taken a wanky character that nobody liked and turned it into a really great G.I. Joe classified figure." But I was excited about this right from the offset, right from the name only reveal, because I like the weird and wacky corners, the balmy, crazy fantasy, sci-fi, horror-y bits that sits within that wider G.I. Joe, kind of oeuvre. And so I was up for it. I was so up for it. And then when he came and he was this good, yeah, just blew my mind. The way they brought the character to life in the 6-inch plastic form is really, really great. Again, like with the others, great sculpted details, lovely paint applications. Like sometimes they skimp on the paint, but with this guy, he's got the belt buckle, he's got the clasps, he's got the buttons, he's got the little dangly brass bits on the end of his tassels and all that, tattoos and just all that sculpted detailing, things like the shield. Obviously, the big, wacky Cthulhu head is just brilliant, and I love how they've kind of opened up the lore to bring that contemporary kind of classified interpretation to a new generation of G.I. Joe. So all those vestigial nostalgic elements are still present and correct, like in the way that his face sculpt is and the long brown leather jacket and the use of the hypno shield, but they've opened up this new world. And of course, then with the Ghost Vipers and the dire beasts and stuff, I'd love to see more. I want them to dig a bit deeper. There was a great comic in the IDW continuity called Infestation, I want to say, and that was all about, like, monsters and demons coming through the portal, and I would just love to see them do more with this idea, this kind of more kind of gothic horror corner, and that hypno dire gas thing, the scarecrow kind of beer gas sort of thing that they've been playing around with Crystal Ball and Direwolf, and I'd be well up for like new character designs and fresh ideas in that front. But yeah, really great. The weapon selection and the accessory selection is obviously brilliant with the head swap, the shield, the 6-shooter. Love the 6-shooter. Couple of hand swaps, the flaming sword. The flaming sword, folks. I mean, a sword is one thing, but a flaming sword is like next level badass awesome, isn't it? You know what I mean? So yeah, Crystal Ball, by far and away my #1 figure of the year. Love this guy. He's sitting in permanent residence, like all these others. He's just been around for me to constantly reach over to. Took tons of photos with this guy, tons of photos. Obviously then digged him back out again when the Ghost Viper and Direwolf arrived in my collection. Just, yeah, got a real buzz out of this one and continue to get a real buzz out of it. So there we go then, folks. There's my top 5 G.I. Joe Classified Series figures for 2025. I sweated this list. There's a couple of honourable mentions that, were there or thereabout in contention. Sci-Fi was in contention. Heavy Duty was in contention. The Ghost Viper itself that I mentioned before was in contention. Even Darklon. I even had Darklon hanging around on the list. Dial Tone. I love Dial Tone. I think it's been a really banging year for G.I. Joe Classified, but, I had to keep it at 5 to keep it nice and trim, nice and tight. But as I mentioned before, not just about me. I reached out and asked members of my viewing community if they'd like to contribute a short clip or a short snippet talking about their favourite figure of G.I. Joe Classified in 2025. So let's take a look at some of the submissions and contributions that my viewing community put across, and let's see how like-minded or far apart we are on which is the best.
Hey guys, what a great year it was for G.I. Joe, and such a wide selection of figures to pick from. Everything from Minnie Mercer to the Hobbit size, Leatherneck, and Mainframe. But for my 2025 pick, I'm going with Monkey Wrench. With the exception of Buzzer's glasses, I think Hasbro has actually nailed the essence of the Dreadnoughts. Monkey Wrench right here feels like he's actually stepped out of the Sunbow cartoon. And I love that they gave him some type of Harbor Freight inspired axe pipe wrench combo, which only says, I'm here to tear something apart. And he's also inspiration that somehow if you're on a strict diet of grape soda and donuts, you're going to end up with an 8-pack just like him. So here's to Monkey Wrench.
All right, Chris. Figure of the year 2025. And a crazy year it was. So much stuff backloaded at the end of the year that I still have a couple figures that I can't include in my rankings just because I haven't had a chance to open them up yet. I will say that my list of figures this year that I purchased was a lot bigger because of Chris and his reviews. He's always convincing me to pick up a character that I didn't think would look cool, but seeing it on his desk, seeing how he had a good time with it with Man-Child Playtime always changes my mind. I can't blame Chris for this one, though. Night Force Quick Kick. Had a buddy on the Discord that picked up this 2-pack, completely changed my mind about him. I think what I love most about this is it takes a character that I had a lot of nostalgia for. Super fun guy on the Sunbow cartoon, but yeah, he's barefoot. He's got no shirt on. He kind of looks out of place with the team. But here we go. He's got some boots. He's got tack vest. He fits in really great. Totally fun to take photos with him. Looks great for night ops stuff. Looks great for ninja stuff. You can even put a rifle in his hands, go outside, take some shots out in the jungle or forest, and he fits right in with the rest of the Joes. So it's an awesome pickup. Really enjoyed him this year. For 2026, my resolution is to get Chris to do some negative reviews and save myself some money.
G'day everyone, it's Ronnie Trickshot here from Down Under, and 2025 was a fantastic year for me. I managed to get over to Augusta, Georgia for Joe Fest in America for the very first time, and that was phenomenal. MoDXtra himself sent me a couple of Action Force comics from his collection, which was a nice surprise. But not only that, I got my hands on a classified figure that I've been waiting for a couple of years, because this character was the very first G.I. Joe I had when I was a kid, and that is, of course, none other than 1986 Dial Tone. There he is there. He was a gift from my great mate, Adam Shark Eyes Howes. What a legend he is. He is an awesome figure, and I'm so glad to have him in my collection. Anyways, I hope everyone has a exceptional 2026, and come on, Aussies in the ashes.
Aloha all, SCS Dog here, helping MoDXtra out with the top classified for 2025. First, I'd like to talk about how many troop builders Hasbro came up with this year for the classified line. So many, I haven't even opened all of them up yet. Some of them are, in fact, among my favorite figures of the year, including the Trench Viper and the Cardback Viper. That being said, the top figure of the year is Budo.
Hey everyone, happy holidays, and hope you're all doing well out there. So my name is Mark, and I'm from London in the UK. My favourite G.I. Joe classified figure of 2025 is Monkey Wrench, one of the Dreadnoks. I always wanted this character as a child, and really happy to have him in G.I. Joe classified form. He has the spirit of the 80s O-ring figure, realised in 6-inch action figure form. It's been another amazing year of action figures, a little something for everyone. I actually found it challenging to pick a number one, as there were so many good figures released, and it looks like next year we'll have just as many. I hope you managed to get all the figures you wanted this year, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone!
Hey, Chris, Sherlock here with my top pick from the G.I. Joe classified line for 2025. I got a couple of runners up. In third place is Budo with his crazy accessory selection. Just a great looking figure, and those accessories are just, I mean, it's almost too much. The only complaints I have are his ankles are a little weak on mine. I'm sure that's not for everybody, but it's unfortunate. Otherwise, he's a great looking figure. Second place is Desert Scorpion. Same deal with Desert Scorpion, just a ton of accessories, plus he comes with the Scorpion. I'm not big on the Scorpion. I also ended up with some weak ankles on mine, but man, look at that figure. Just a really great interpretation of the original figure from the OG line. And last but not least, my pick of the year goes to Mainframe. Man, I'll tell you what, he's a great figure, tight joints, looks great, great head sculpts, great accessories, and it goes a long way now. He can store everything that comes with him. So I think that put him at the top of the list for me. Just a really great figure. I wasn't expecting him to be as great as he is, and just the small details around him on his kit, on his laptop that opens up with the slide out screen. I'm just really impressed. So that's it. Mainframe for top of the line 2025. Thanks. See you later.
And there we go, folks. That brings us to the end of the video. So my top 5 and then a few contributions from across my viewing community. As always, I'll invite you to the comments down below to share your thoughts. Who was your favorite figure? Do you agree or disagree with my list? Do you think anybody in the viewing contribution, the viewer contributions, got an interesting take? I thought there were some interesting takes in there for sure around like army builders, and I thought Curtis's Mathrix contribution was an interesting one that people you might not have looked at quite as closely as he's done. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. But all that remains to say is thanks for watching, folks. Keep an eye out. I've got another couple of kind of wrapping up the year videos on the way in the next week or two. And that's it. I'm done. Thanks for watching. Come back around for another video sometime soon. I'd love to have you. All right? Take it easy, folks.